Several MPs across party lines have been travelling abroad for the last couple of weeks. They're all back home now. The message of the all-party delegation was to explain to several countries, important ones across the world, the reason for Op Sindoor and how Pakistan remains a state sponsor of terrorism. Earlier on today, I spoke to four distinguished MPs, Supriya Sule of the NCP, John Brittas, MP with the CPM, Sasmit Patra, MP of the BJD, and Aparajita Sarangi, MP with the BJP. Of all of the countries that you visited, and you were in South Africa, Ethiopia, Qatar, and Egypt, where did you see the maximum progress, where countries came and said that, look, no, we are backing you, we support you 100%, and we condemn Pakistan for their acts of terrorism?
Well, Vishnu, all four. It was I was overwhelmed by the love, the support that we got from all the four countries. And I think it's not just about today. All the four countries we talked about, especially Africa, Ethiopia, and Egypt. These were three countries where the first thing that they, when we met them, they were, I was overwhelmed by the hospitality and the whole concept of, we expect so much from India because this is Mahatma Gandhi's India. So they talked about our relationship way back in all these three countries, and Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira ji, and then Manmohan Singh ji, and the present Prime Minister, Modi ji, and how close they felt with Modi ji now. And it's a legacy issue of trust, friendship, bilateral trade. So I must say it was overwhelming, and they expect so much from us. So actually, if you ask me at some points, I was like, oh my God, it's almost overwhelming and intimidating and worrisome because people have so much expectation from us.
What sort of support did you get from leaders in these countries? Were you optimistic about what they had to say?
Vishnu ji, we got tremendous support from all the four countries that we visited. In the UAE, we got tremendous support both from the parliamentary delegates whom we met, parliamentary colleagues whom we do meet on other platforms as well at the Inter-Parliamentary Union. They expressed their condemnation of the terrorism. At the same time, they supported India's stand against terrorism and the need for zero tolerance on terrorism. Moving on to Africa, we went to Democratic Republic of Congo, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. All the three countries were extremely happy and we're very grateful to India for having supported those activities of UN peacekeeping by sending in Indian troops to them and supported India's stand on terrorism. There were three specific agendas with which we went to all of these four countries. One was exposing Pakistan's terror network and the way they have been perpetuating terror on India for the past 4 decades. The Operation Sindoor and its success, and of course to sensitize the global community to stand with India in one voice and continue this action against terror.
Could you give us a sense of the support that you received for India's cause in this fight against terrorism? Let's start with Japan.
Let me tell you that it was a 14-day tour, and we were 9 persons in the delegation. 7 were MPs and 1 ex-diplomat and 1 person, the former External Affairs Minister, Sri Salman Khurshid ji. It was a highly cohesive team. We belonged to 5 different political parties, but when we went to the foreign soil, starting from Japan, our voice was one, our language was one. We spoke the language of Bharat. We spoke for Bharat, in favor of Bharat, and we wanted to set the narrative right. Whatever had to be said was said with a lot of fearlessness everywhere. Now, as far as Japan is concerned, that was the first destination that we all had, and it was wonderful to be there. In all these 5 countries, let me tell you, we met different segments of population. We started with the political setup there. The political setup was extremely friendly and extremely receptive to whatever we said. They gave us a very patient hearing. All our discussions were long and lucid, and thereafter we met the think tank members. We also met the academia, we also met the Indian diaspora, the women and the youth. So I think not one segment of population was untouched by us, and we had gone there with a definite purpose. All of us know that. The purpose was to communicate very strongly, very emphatically, India's stance on cross-border terrorism. The purpose was to tell everybody that Pakistan had been peddling lies, and Pakistan was creating a false propaganda. The narrative was wrong, and we had to set the narrative right. And third and very important was our message to the international community that there is zero tolerance for terrorism in India. There is a new normal policy in India, and it would be absolutely not sparing anybody if there is any kind of attack on us further. So I think we were quite emphatic in our dealings with all the countries, including Japan. Japan was very good. Japan's, as you said, Japan's response was very good. Then, as you know, thereafter we went to the Republic of Korea.
Yeah.
Again, I would say a lovely country, good people, and we had a lot of dialogue and discussion and debates. And the Indian diaspora was very enthusiastic. And
But ma'am, let me ask you this.
all these 5 countries, one thing was very common.
Could you give us a sense of the support that you received or members of your delegation received in conveying the message that Pakistan is a state sponsor of terrorism?
See, we feel that we got a very good reception of those countries. Japan, Indonesia, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. Though they had many questions and concerns, we could effectively convey the message of India that all these countries need to hold our hands to combat terror. And terror can have new friends, new enemies, so it should not be considered as something which is inflicting wounds on India alone. All these countries will have to hold their hands together. And I can tell you one thing, we got a wide range of interactions in all these countries, including ministers, including parliamentary groups, think tanks, media, even our own diaspora. Apart from that, in Japan and Indonesia, we could interact with ambassadors and high commissioners of other missions. They were invited for a freewheeling discussion with us. And in Jakarta, we had ambassadors of ASEAN countries. They came for interaction with us. So some of their concerns were addressed. And especially in countries like Japan and Korea, they had concerns about their investments in India. Will it have any bearing on those investments? And in Japan specifically, they had a concern on nuclear weapons. Will this clash take to a level of having a nuclear clash? So we told them that India, being a responsible, mature democracy, and for us nuclear weapon is a deterrent, and India has adopted the doctrine of no first use. So all these things were effectively conveyed to them. I can also tell that our mission was some sort of a soft power diplomacy. So in effect, we had the flexibility of interacting with so many people. And I think by and large, we got a good reception in all these countries.
You know, I think it's wonderful to see all of you MPs from various political parties talking the same language, determined in the same goal. We see such fierce animosity in Parliament, but to see all of you working, in this united fashion, what did it feel like for you to be part of this united mission with political leaders from across the political spectrum?
Vishnu, to be honest, we have ideological differences. And please don't forget from the state that I come from. I come from the state of Maharashtra, where, a lot of people even sort of sometimes make fun of us and say, "Arey, Maharashtra ke sab rajneta ke dost hote hai."
Right.
And traditionally in Maharashtra, it's a vibrant democracy, first of all, in India. So for us to be friends across party lines is nothing new in Maharashtra, especially. And even in Parliament, you'll be surprised, but we have our strong political differences. But we all across board have a lot of personal friends as well. And that's the beauty of a vibrant democracy, that we have to hear each other. And what's special about this trip was that it was a multilateral, all-party delegation, and we were not, it was not an ideological issue. We were there as proud Indians who wanted to go all out there and give a strong message to the world that we may have our political differences back home, but when it comes to terrorism, India is committed together. It's country first, then your state, then your party, and then your family.
Was there a broad acceptance of, the need to accept Pakistan as a terrorist state, as a state sponsor of terrorism?
Pakistan as a terror haven is well understood by now by the global community. I may not be able to place on record in media what they specifically said because it was said under closed doors. But I can reliably and with all authority in my position tell you that as far as Pakistan's credibility, it runs zero at this point of time in the global community. As far as the Pakistan's connections with terror is widely accepted and is a known fact, from Osama bin Laden to Maulana Masood Azhar to Hafiz Saeed, Lashkar-e-Toiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed. All of this have become accepted norms that they are part of Pakistan's terror network and agenda. And as far as Pakistan as a terror haven is a given now in the global community. And that is something that reflected in our discussions and also our interactions as we went forward.
Ma'am, let me ask you this.
Yes, please.
How was it like to deal with with opposition parties? On the floor of Parliament, all of you have the most heated debates. You keep fighting with one another. We've had very difficult sessions of Parliament, and now you're all friends. And it's like all of you have turned a new leaf. To me, sitting over here, it seems almost unbelievable.
Very good question. I think we all have succeeded in befriending one another. When we went there, we were like a family for 14 days, and I'm sure this relationship would continue in the days to come. So I think this is a very positive outcome of this multi-party delegation. And I was just coming to that. In fact, in all the countries, whether it is the political setup or the Indian diaspora or the civil society or the think tanks, everybody appreciated Prime Minister Modi's government's concept of multi-party delegation. See, in our delegation, we were belonging to 5 political parties. The JDU person, the JDU MP was heading the delegation. I was from the BJP. We had one from the CPIM, one from the Congress, and one from the Trinamool Congress. So I think, but there was a lot of cohesiveness, lot of unity. As I told you, I reiterate, we spoke the same language, we spoke in one voice for India.
If you look at the outcome of the military operations itself, it's clear that India achieved what we wanted to. It was Pakistan that came to the ceasefire table. Why was it then, in your opinion, necessary for India to send out these delegations of MPs?
See, in fact, we are reciprocating the gesture by the government of India. The decision of sending outreach delegation was taken by the government of India. We only agreed to cooperate with that. So I would not be in a position to comment whether whether this purpose of taking this decision was good or bad. But I can tell you one thing: since we agreed to be part of this outreach, we thought that we would give our full into it. And I can tell you all the members of this group worked in tandem, and there was unity in our resolve, and we presented a picture of India as a mature democracy. We may have domestic compulsions, domestic differences, disagreements, reservations, but when it comes to the larger cause of the nation, we are together. That message was. And in most of these countries, even this 5-party delegation which we are presenting there, that itself was something which was very refreshing to them.
Did leaders in any of the countries who you met condemn Pakistan?
Oh, clearly, the message was very, very clear, Shom. They were very clear that anywhere in the world, not just India, Pakistan, they are very clear that anybody who supports terrorist activity, we all must work together against it. And everybody wants a peaceful world. What is the legacy that people want to leave for their children and their grandchildren? Is absolute peace and harmony. So I think that's what they expect from our continent, of course, and they are committed, and they have shown solidarity to India even publicly. all the four governments reached out to Prime Minister Modi ji right away. They called us, they reassured us, and they stood by us in this extraordinary, painful, and challenging times that we are going through as a country.
The United Arab Emirates is of critical strategic importance to India. We built that relationship over the last several years, but it's also a nation which has had typically close ties with Pakistan. In terms of statements which the leadership of the UAE or the leaders that you met gave you, were they willing to accept Pakistan in as strong terms as we've been discussing as a state sponsor of terrorism?
See, as far as Pakistan is concerned, we do appreciate that UAE is a GCC nation. It's also an OIC nation. But the overwhelming support that we got in UAE is a testament to the fact that they have zero tolerance towards terrorism. And they clearly feel that terrorism on India is a terrorism against humanity. And terrorism anywhere is terrorism everywhere. So therefore, there is zero tolerance for terror. And we, of course, provided a lot of evidence relating to how Pakistan is complicit in this kind of terror interactions and terror engagement. And they are sensitive to India. They do recognize the ties that Pakistan has, right down from Osama bin Laden coming down till Pahalgam. And they have assured full cooperation and support, and were in fact the first country to condemn Pahalgam terror attack.
Nowhere, not in your delegation or any delegation anywhere else, did any MP or any party move away from the India line, not their party line, but the India line. Given how diverse our voices are when you're back home, isn't that just wonderful? That when push comes to shove on the most important issue,
yes,
we act as one.
That was the best outcome of this multi-party delegation going to different countries. And I think we have come back, all of us, very much enriched, and we are better friends with each other, and we understand each other. When we were on the foreign soil, we just batted for India. We knew Pakistan was our enemy, Pakistan had killed our people, and that's the only thing that was there in our minds. And I think Indianness prevailed, the unity of Bharat prevailed, and I think that is the spirit of India, which I think all of us could experience.
Do you believe that the visit of all of these MPs to different parts of the world is premised on the fact that the message that India was trying to send earlier on, or the government was trying to send earlier on, didn't have the results that many had sought? Is that why you went out?
No, not at all. It's a process that you go. So it's a multi-pronged action to what has happened in India. And I think you should actually, as a country, we should welcome it, because after, even I was quite nervous about it, I must admit, because I was leading a delegation, which is a lot of responsibility. You're watched by everybody. And it's not just about watching, it's about your own performance. Yeah. It's the faith the government has shown you to lead your country in a position. There's a lot of responsibility. And my delegation, our G7, which is Group 7, had such heavyweight, experienced leaders. 5 of them have been ministers in Government of India. So such experienced people. So it was, for me, I must with full humility admit, I was a bit nervous. I was on the edge that, oh my God, I hope all goes well. But once we all got into the zone, it was so comfortable, much easier than what I expected. And the Bonhami, we just were like, we just fitted into it. And I think it was, the tuning of the group was extraordinarily, because we were very clear about our goal.
Right.
That we are here as Indians, no differences, let's go all out. And, the country has shown faith in us. The government has, it doesn't matter which government it is, has shown this faith in us. So we must outperform us.
Right.
And we tried our best. I'm sure may have been gaps. I mean, we're not perfect, we're humans here. But we have tried our best, and all 7 groups have tried their best. And one point I'd like to make is, there are various activities being done. So this is one of them, was an outreach program. And think about it, Shom, that even our neighborhood has started doing it. So the fact that the neighborhood has also started it, that means there has to be some value add. And please remember one thing, when somebody copies you, take it as a compliment. Don't feel bad somebody's copying. It's a compliment.